Alright, let's see. Make sure everything's good with my sound. Most High in Christ. Alright. Alright, Shalom, Israel. We're the I.S.U.P.K. We start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York City, under Commander General YAHANNA. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. We teach the truth according to the Bible. And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are God's chosen people. And we're going to get in today about Brotherhood. Today is a Tuesday Brotherhood class. So we're about to get into the Brotherhood breakdown. The class topic for the day specifically is going to be about rank and order, okay? Rank and order. Make sure you like and share this video. Like and share this video so we can get this out, get the truth out there. Brotherhood is something that's going to save blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians' lives. You understand? Let's see. Make sure everything is Tawab. All right. Let me get it set up here. All right. So if you already watching, go ahead and go to 1 Thessalonians 5 and 12. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12. And we're going to start there. Shalom, YAHANNA. Alright. We about to get into this brotherhood rank and order. Make sure I'm able to see my chats. All right. So we starting at 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 12, right? So brotherhood is a weapon. Of course, like we teach in I.S.U.P.K. You know what I mean? You know, according to the Bible, brotherhood is a weapon. It's able to, build an empire. It's also able to destroy empires. Brotherhood alone can be the reason why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians can have all of the wealth, all of the power, and everything else, that's great, to have as a nation by just coming together, understand, one body. Like we had at the lecture with me and Captain Nakad, Brotherhood is a Weapon. The video with the Hispanic brothers, the brothers that was at the plant, excuse me, I got a cold, forgive me, I do got a cold, but the Hispanic brothers that walked out of the plant because they were being discriminated against. It was about 3 or 4 brothers, Hispanic brothers that were discriminated against. They were getting a lot of hell from their supervisor, just like all of Israel does all the time. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we get hell from our supervisors, our managers. And because of that, you understand, we tend to have, bad days, and, it's just a struggle, being oppressed. But these Mexicans decided that they were not going to, take that anymore. They were not going to be, discriminated against and be treated the way they were going to be treated. And they came together. So 5 of them were fired. But in result of those 5 Mexicans being fired, every Mexican in the entire plant quit their job that day, shut the entire plant down. You understand? And these plants, like BMW, like, Volvo, and the place where they, these big companies where they make their products, they make millions of dollars, you understand, within a matter of an hour, within a matter of 2 hours. And these plants, throughout their whole entire shift, so for that shift for those Hispanics, they might have made that company, $40 million, $10 million for that shift. They shut the plant down and left, probably resulting in millions of dollars lost for that company. And that's what happens when brotherhood is a weapon. You understand? That's what happens when brotherhood comes together. You understand? We shut down entire Salakia. Shalom, sir. YAHANNA. Well, I'm teaching. Ain't no sweat. Shalom, sir. YAHANNA. You understand? This is my brother Isupk. You understand? Out there in Houston, Texas. So listen, they shut down the plant. That's what Brotherhood can do, but also Brotherhood can be the reason we can have our own plants. Long story short. So let's get into this ranking order, because ranking order is something that's very important as well, because brothers, like I said, can love one another all day. And you understand, but if we don't have ranking order, things are not going to get done. So ranking order is biblical. Christ, you understand, it was a man of war. Any war soldier or warrior has a military, or has a host. That's why he says, "I'm the Lord of hosts. I'm the Lord of an army." You understand? These brothers that were in that army, that was in the army of the Lord, or the host of the Lord, had rank and they had order. So we about to get into that right now, right? So let's get 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12. And bear with me. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12 says, "And we beseech you, brethren." So beseech is to beg. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying, "We beg you, brethren, to know them which labor among you." To know the brothers that labor among you is to know their strengths, know their weaknesses, know what they're going through, know what they're doing on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? What they're able to handle, what they're not able to handle. The type of things that they the type of vices or struggles or things that they need help battling or getting over. All of these things is knowing thy brother, knowing the brothers that labor amongst you. We in the I.S.U.P.K have a brotherhood here, you understand, that's so strong and so mighty. Brothers here are one family. We're a family, you understand? We have friendships and brotherhood amongst wives, amongst husbands, amongst children. Brothers' children are my children are their children. You understand? My wife is their sister, and their wives are my sisters, and you see what I'm saying? We're a family, man. You understand? We had to know the men and the women and the children and everybody that labors amongst us. We have to know our family, know one another, man. And you understand? It says we beg you to know the brothers, know the men that labor amongst you. All right? And are over you in the Lord. So you not only have to know the men that labor amongst you, but you have to also know the men that are over you in the Lord. You understand? Meaning in this truth. You know what I mean? Because in this truth, and just like in the Bible, when it was during Christ's time or anybody's time, whether it was Moses, there was always rank and there was always order. You have to know the men that are over you in the Lord, in the truth, right? All right, so, and admonish them, right? So what we're bringing out right now is establishing, the relationship between the men above you and the men that labor with you, right? Understanding, how to deal with the men under you. Understanding how to respect the men above you, below you. How to honor the men above you. Salaki, I got a real bad cold, but the truth can't stop. You understand? We got to get this going, right? This brotherhood is a powerful topic. Honor the men above you, respecting the men below you, knowing the men that labor amongst you, because there might be things that need to get done within your camp or within your school or within your city or however you want to look at a region, that you might know a specific brother or even a sister that may be best to handle a situation. You understand? Like right now, we got the, in Chicago, for example, they got the fire weekend coming up. Fire weekend coming up. There's many responsibilities that have to be taken care of. There's men that has to take care of the permits. There's men that has to, when taking care of permits is a tedious job, making sure everything is, all of verbiage is on point and everything is covered. There's no flaws in the time frames and the numbers. Everything has to be, on point. I mean, you have to have a specific brother to take care of those tasks. You have to have a specific brother to take care of, hotels. You know what I mean? I know from me, booking my hotel, they got the sister, Shara from Chicago, taking care of the hotel reservations, getting the hotel deals, contacting the brothers and sisters, collecting the payments for the hotel, so, for the hotel reservation. And that's what I'm trying to say. You have to know who's able and who's appropriate to do these jobs. You understand? And it's like I said, it's beyond that. This is a military. Military is like, should run like a well-oiled machine. You know what I mean? There should be rank and there should be order, because when the orders come down, knowing the men that labor amongst you is how you're going to be able to know who's fit to carry out those orders. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. So, and it says admonish them, right? So, to admonish somebody is to by definition, where it says to reprimand someone firmly. You understand? So we have to steadfast, with the men above us. You know what I mean? Like, admonish them. We want to make sure that they can trust in us. You understand? We can carry out orders, and it can be an order that you're not able to do, but you have to know the men that labor amongst you to know who can do it. But most importantly, the men above you should know if you're even able to carry out those orders. But it's very important, man. Rank and order. Knowing the men that labor amongst you, and respecting the and honoring the men that are over you. All right. So we just want to keep going. Verse 13, and to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake. Like to esteem them very highly. Like in the I.S.U.P.K, Commander General YAHANNA, you understand, the head of this nation, the leader of this nation, you understand, is highly esteemed. You know what I mean? This brother has held on to the truth, something that's the most precious thing on the face of the earth for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He has held on to the truth so that brothers like myself can be able to come out of the streets, stop gangbanging, stop being a whore, and having sex with women and throwing them away. Like, these things are what Commander General YAHANNA held on to be able to make happen, and he's highly esteemed. You know what I mean? And like it says, highly esteemed for their work's sake. You understand? When there was a time where all of the you see with all of the hate that I.S.U.P.K gets, all of the negative attention that we get from so many people, because the Bible says they hated you, they hated me first. You know what I mean? So it's not a bad thing that we're hated. But Commander General YAHANNA alone was hated when he had to hold on to this truth. He had to hold on to this brotherhood, this and steadfast, man, and suffering, longevity, and sleeping on floors and traveling from city to city, state to state, doing the Lord's work, man. You understand? Commander General YAHANNA, the generals, the captains, officers like myself do the same thing today, and we're able to move as men of valor, men that are actually, that are honorable, that are moral, you know what I mean, that are righteous, and that's something that the truth is able to do for us. And if it wasn't for Commander General YAHANNA holding on to that, you understand, we would still be damned. So we highly esteem. So Commander General YAHANNA is esteemed very highly. Like the scripture is saying in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 13. It's an amazing thing, man, to give honor to the men above you. You understand? Just the way we give honor to Christ. Christ did the same thing. He's highly esteemed. He led our people and showed them how to be brotherly. You understand? Fulfilled those laws for us to be able to know that it's possible, that there's somebody out there that gives a damn about us, even though we're drug dealers, even though we're gangsters, even though we're pimps and whores, that we can still be righteous and we can still be kings on this earth, man. You understand? Be rulers on this earth. So Christ is esteemed, and most importantly, he died for our nation, man. He died for those same drug dealers and criminals today, man. He died for us that we may change our lives. So let's hold on to this truth. Get with the program, man. You understand? Shed yourself for the world, come into the truth, and take on that same battle that Christ had to fight. That same battle that Commanding General YAHANNA had to fight. The same battle that we're fighting here in I.S.U.P.K today, man. You understand? For the Lord. All right. So and be at peace among yourselves. So it says, be at peace among yourselves. See, being at peace among yourselves is how you're able to, having peace and having order and rank is how you're able to get things done. Because if it wasn't for peace, rank, and order, things would be we would handle things. We would decide things like barbarians, man. We would fight to the bloody death to see who's going to take the trash out. You know what I mean? Fight tooth and nail to blood sheds. You understand, to see who's going to wash dishes or so on and so forth. You know what I mean? To follow those orders or take those orders or to get things done. So having peace among ourselves, having that rank and having that order is how you're able to, having that rank and order is how you're able to maintain peace. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, if there wasn't any rank or order, it would be chaos. It would be, oh, well, so who's going to take the trash out? Well, I don't know. I ain't taking the trash out. Well, he should take the trash out because he ain't did nothing all week. Well, he should take the trash out. It's very easy. Now there's a man that's the master over you in the flesh, under the Lord, under the order of the Lord, that gives an order to go out and build up a camp, to go out and get the park permit, to go out and build the camp signs, to go out and, fulfill these orders, you know what I mean? And it should just be con out of one con, and it should be able to get done. And that's how easily things are handled and decisions are made when you have rank and order, instead of having to fight and go back and forth with one another to get things done. So rank and order is how we're able to maintain that peace, right? Let's see. All right, so let's go down to verse 14. Verse 14 says, now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly. Unruly, right? Warn them that are unruly. Well, you see it today. We see it today. You understand? There's brothers like, I don't know if y'all are into like the rap industry and what's going on, current events in the rap industry, but it's a young rapper by the name of TK. Young rapper by the name of TK. He probably right now, probably 20 years old, 21 years old. So back in 2016, he was involved in a robbery, and the robbery turned out to, within that robbery, someone got murdered, and now he's on trial for that robbery and that murder. And the judge just gave this 21-year-old black man, you understand, 21 years old, man, black. Young adult, young man, 55 years, man. They gave that boy 55 years, 21 years old, man. His whole life is gone. You understand? Him able to have a wife and, have kids and be able to go to and fro and congregate with his brothers and, and go out to camp and blaze. Well, not saying that there's not other things that he can do while he's in prison, but there's a lot of things that's being taken away from him by going to prison, man. That's 55 years. So the Bible right now is saying, you understand, right here where it says, brethren, right? Give me 1 second. It says, brethren, warn them that are unruly. Warn them that are unruly. So we want to warn brothers like that are living by the street code and trying to survive by any means necessary. You know what I mean? We hear brothers say all the time, I got to put food on the table. I got to put some shoes on my baby feet and so on and so forth. And these brothers are out of order. You understand? They lack leadership. They don't have that guidance where they can be able to know there's other ways to be able to get funds or finance. You understand? When we talk about brotherhood, Brotherhood alone will feed our nation. It will clothe our nation. It will fund our nation. You understand? Brothers pay their 10% of their tithes. You know, you come into the school, you pay, you paying your tithes. You fall short financially, you're able to get that financial backing. You understand? We have our own financial economy in the I.S.U.P.K, in our brotherhood. You understand? Where we able to give brothers the financial assistance they need. You know what I mean? Give them the wisdom or the advice or the leadership they need to be able to secure a slavery and maintain their funds and manage their finances and build their credit and take care of their family and be able to have things. Brotherhood alone can take care of that. There's brothers out there that lack that leadership, and that's what we have to do, and that's what it's telling us. We have to be those leaders. We have to be those leaders, and of course, leaders is somebody that's over. You have to, in order to lead, you have to be over somebody, right? So here in the I.S.U.P.K, we got brothers over brothers over brothers over brothers. You understand? We got Commander General YAHANNA, we got generals, we got captains, we got officers, we got troopers. And I mean, and these brothers that's in the I.S.U.P.K that have that authority to be those leaders, officers, you understand, and captains and generals lead one another, man. They lead the men under them. And we lead the entire nation that are unruly, that are not in the truth, that are sinful, that are what everybody calls super predators and everybody calls criminals and gangsters and thugs. We are the leaders of those people, man. You understand? We are the leaders of those people, and we're going to do what? We're going to warn them that are unruly. We're going to warn them. We're going to tell them that if you don't stop having sex with these white women, you're going to die. You understand? That's the end results of all sin. That's why the Bible says the wages of sin is death. You keep eating that pork, akwaf, you're going to die. You know, death is going to see you. The Most High is going to visit you. You keep on, being a hoe out here, throwing your box to everybody, every nigga you meet. And niggas out here throwing the rod to every sister and that got a box on her. You understand? You're going to die for being a fornicator, for being an adulterer, for being, you understand, all of the tattoos and so on and so forth. We're going to show our people their transgression. And we're going to show them how to be lawful, how to be righteous, how to be ruly, how to be orderly. You know what I mean? Because those people, those brothers and sisters of ours, you understand, they don't have any order. You know what I mean? They don't have a ranking system. You know what I mean? So we're going to warn them. You understand? All right? Let's see. And it's going to be rough. You understand? It's going to be rough. That's why it says, comfort the feeble-minded, right? Support the weak and be patient towards all men. Because it's not going to be easy. You're not going to be able to just, see a brother that's doing bad and, acting out or being a criminal, being sinful, and just say stop, and he's going to stop. You have to bear with them, man. You have to be patient. Believe me, I know, because brothers had to be patient with me when I came into the truth, when I came into the understanding of who I am and my laws, my culture, my tradition, my history. You know what I mean? My identity. Brothers had to be patient with me. And I say Barakatha Yahweh because look at the man that's made me today. All of the fights and all of the battles that I had to go through with these men, you understand, for them, for what they were telling me to have to get through to me, you understand, to cut all of that Christianity I had, in my mind that I've learned in America and so on and so forth. Like, it's going to take patience, man. You understand? Just know that there was patience that was given to these men that are in I.S.U.P.K. And it's going to take patience to give to these brothers that are out here that are unruly. All right, you know what I mean? Saying take Yahweh Shah for example. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ, he was a black man from the tribe of Judah that understood black people, and that's why the Bible says we are stiff-necked people. We are stiff-necked people. We're stubborn. You understand? We stuck in our ways. And it's tough, you know what I mean, battling these demons that we have as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So we have to bear with one another. You know what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters have to bear with one another. All right. All right. So where we at? Let's see. Give me 1 second. We have to bear with one another. We have to be patient with one another, right? Alright, so let's go now to, give me 1 second. Alright, so let's go down. So just having patience towards each other can go towards for all men can go a long way. You know what I mean? There's brothers out there that ready to throw another brother in jail, man. You know, what is that going to accomplish, man, by throwing a brother in jail, man? You know what I mean? What is that going to accomplish? What is he going to be able to now do as a prisoner that he wasn't able to do? You understand? What you teaching him the word of the Most High, teaching him his identity, and giving him the laws and commandments that was given to the Most High. You understand? So, I mean, that was given to us by the Most High, right? All right, so the last scripture is going to be verse 15, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 15. See that none render evil for evil unto any man. You understand? You don't answer evil with evil, man. Your brother step on your shoe, it don't mean you got to step back on his shoe. You know what I mean? Your brother, sin against you or transgression against you doesn't mean you have to answer, you understand, with transgression or answer with sin or answer with evil, like the scripture is saying right now. See that none render evil for evil unto any man. That's why Peter went and got counsel from YAHANNA, from Christ. Peter went and got counsel from him and said, how often shall my brother sin against me? Should it be 7 times before I have to sin against him or cut him off or fight him or so on and so forth? Should it be 7 times? Should my brother sin against me? And Christ told him, a man more wise than all man alive today. You understand? Told him that you don't forgive him 7 times. You forgive him 7 times 70, meaning so much amount of times that you can say all the time. You understand? So many amount of times, it's all the time that you should forgive him. And that's wisdom, man. You understand? You forgive your brother all the time. You don't answer evil with evil. You know what I mean? Like, these brothers are out here selling drugs. Throwing them in jail is not going to help them. You know what I mean? Throwing them in jail, murmuring behind their back, talking about them behind their back. You understand? Like the Christian church do every damn day. You understand? It's not going to help them. You know what I'm saying? The Christian church is supposed to be so-called helping black people and helping the congregation. Meanwhile, they talk about black people and one another so much that you wouldn't even know who in the world in that church is your brother or sister. Who is for you? There's so much gossip going on and so much evil talk about one another. But the Bible says that you should not, you understand, render evil for evil unto any man, but ever follow that which is good. Follow that which is good. We know what is good. The laws are good. The commandments are good. As the Bible tells you what foods are good. You know what I mean? Like it tells you what to eat and what not to eat. It tells you what's good and not good. Homosexuality is not good. You understand? Tattoos are not good. Interracial marriage is not good. He showed us how what's not good in the Bible, man. These laws and these commandments, right? So it says that so we can be able to not be spiteful, not be vengeful against one another. You understand? We have to be able to sacrifice our feelings and sacrifice our emotions because we tend to react on those things when things happen to us. And this, like I said in my last Brotherhood class, these things that we're bringing out pertaining to brotherhood applies to marriages as well. You understand? You married. If you married, man, you should know that this is something that you need to apply to your marriage. You know what I mean? Something, your wife does something evil to you, you don't answer with evil. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do. One thing, most importantly, you should do is talk to her about it. Why would you do something like that? You understand? And if it's something that she can understand that she was wrong, and you can get it ironed out together without having to escalate, then Most High in Christ. But if it's something that y'all can't get together, and she thinks that she was right or he thinks that he was right, take it to counsel. You understand? Take it to counsel. so on and so forth. So, but at the end of the day, you don't answer evil with evil. You don't render evil for evil. All right. So you understand. You follow what's good. Counsel is good. You understand. Going to He and He alone is good. You know what I mean. Getting major counsel, that's good. How fighting against your feelings and your emotions and not reacting on feelings and emotions is good. These laws and these commandments are good. You follow these laws and commandments, women know their order and their place, men know their order and their place. It'll all have peace, like we just read back up at verse 13. It'll be peace, not only amongst brothers and sisters, but also amongst husbands and wives as well. You know what I mean? So this is something that's very important. And the next one says, Lucky. All right. And at the end it says, and to all men, right? So it says, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men. Because just because a brother is not in the truth don't mean that you should do evil against him because he's done evil against you. It doesn't mean because he's not in the truth that you got to, fight him, you understand, or he's not as much as of a brother as you are. You know what I mean? Because what did Christ do? Christ was a man without sin. A perfect man in the earth. The most perfect black man, you understand? The most perfect man that ever walked the earth. You understand? Christ, a black man from the tribe of Judah. And guess what? He did not hold back 1 second to die for us who are called niggas and spicks and wetbacks, man. You understand? The ones that are out here selling drugs and gangbanging, prostituting, and doing drugs and selling drugs, so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, we should look at our people who are those things as well the same way. You know what I mean? As brothers. And treat them the same way we treat a man in the truth. The same way Christ treated us, man. It's how these are the things that the Bible was talking about that are good. You know what I mean? All right, so let's see. Let me drop that. You know what I mean? Let's get 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 2. Right? Alright, so we get 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 2. Now you got to keep this law, you got to keep these laws, this order, this peace, you know what I mean, this brotherhood in and outside of the truth, man. In and outside of the truth. Alright? So we got 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 2. For ye know the commandments we gave you by the Lord. You understand? So this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 2. So this is talking about, when it says ye, it's talking about the schools in Thessalonians, right? The Thessalonia, right? The schools that were there, that were set up there, right? So it's saying that the schools that were set up there know what commandments we gave you by the Lord Jesus, YAHWH. You understand? You, of course, is talking about the apostles, right? So, it's like we, you understand? We. This is the apostles. This is the apostles talking to the schools in Thessalonia, right? Saying that you know what commandments we gave you by the Lord. You understand? Like the same way, Peter set up, Paul set up the churches, right? He set it up by order of Christ, right? The things that was taught to him by Christ. You understand? He didn't teach nothing different. He didn't taught the laws and commandments. That's it. He taught brotherhood. He taught order. He taught rank. He taught that The what, man? The goddamn devil in the Bible is so, you know what I mean? We ain't trying to get banned on Facebook. We got a lot of teaching to do, but you know what I mean, who the devil is, right? That's what they taught in those churches, man. That's what the Most High gave us, man. This is what the Most High hates them, man. You understand? He told us these laws and these commandments. He told us, what to do and what not to do, what to eat, what not to eat. He's teaching of the Lord, and that's what the apostles are saying, that this is what we taught you. You understand? When we go down to verse 3, verse 3 says, "For this is the will of God, even your sanctification, that ye should abstain from fornication." You understand? He taught the law, you understand, and threw away breaking them. You know what I mean? Hoslagi. You know what I mean? Just like I was talking about Paul. Like Paul taught what Christ taught. You know what I mean? These apostles, or that followed Christ, taught in those churches those things. You know what I mean? The same thing that we teach in I.S.U.P.K today. You know what I mean? This is the order that they had. You know what I mean? Like, that's why when you have that order, when you have the Most High, you have Christ, and you have that man, you understand that the Most High say he's going to put over the congregation. And then you have the congregation of men, the host, right? You have the host of the Lord, which is the generals, the captains, the officers. These men are husbands and of wives and of fathers of children. And that order structure is how we're going to create a perfect nation, man. You understand? We're going to do the same thing that the apostles taught. The apostles taught. We're going to teach the same thing the apostles taught. Teach the same thing that, Paul and them taught, man. Christ taught. Like it says, you know what I mean, that was given to us by the Lord Jesus, right? Sanctification, like it says, even your sanctification. Being sanctified is to be clean. You know what I mean? To be clean. We're clean by the law. The law cleans us up. Ever since I stopped eating pork, I'm not subject to high blood pressure and diabetes and things like that, or gout, or whatever else you get, heart disease from eating pork. You know what I mean? AIDS and stuff like that, STDs from being a whore and a homosexual. That's how you clean a man up, by giving him the laws and commandments. This, like I said, even your sanctification, that ye should abstain from fornication. Like all of these things that were taught in these churches and in these schools, you know what I mean, set up by the Lord, you understand, was teaching these laws and commandments, man. All right. Let's see. Then we go down to verse 4. Verse 4 says that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and in honor, right? So the vessel is talking about your body. Like, the vessel is the body. You know what I mean? The body of Christ. Here in I.S.U.P.K, this is the body of Christ. So when we're talking about, let me go back, slide, I'm flipping back and forth from my precepts in the scriptures here that I'm reading. It says that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel, right, in sanctification and honor. Like we said, the vessel is the bottle. You have to treat it holy. You know what I mean? You have to treat. That's why it says the kingdom of heaven is within you, right? Your vessel is the kingdom of heaven. Within you is where it's going to be cleaned up, and you are going to be the shining light for the next man to clean himself up, to stop smoking, to stop getting high, to stop selling drugs, to stop all of the things that the Most High said not to do. Like, you're going to be the one to clean up yourself and your vessel and keep it holy, be separate from all those evil things, and you're going to be a shining light for brothers to do the same. Like I said, if it wasn't for the men above me in the I.S.U.P.K, that taught and led and cleaned up their own selves, I wouldn't be able to have the opportunity to learn and clean my own self up, man. You understand? That's why Christ said, you understand, in the scriptures, what Christ said, you understand, where he washed the feet of the men that was under him, right? He washed the feet of the men that was under him, meaning these men that he served, that he was over, he taught them and cleaned them up. He gave them the laws. He gave them the commandments. He cleaned them up. He gave them something to stop being a filthy, disgusting sinner. All right? Stop being a filthy, disgusting sinner. And now they're able to be clean and be holy and skin glow and teeth shine, and that fine gold that the Most High was talking about when he said he created the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men. You understand? The sisters to be able to be modest and be virtuous and be beautiful and, have their jewelry and, be submissive and be giving kind words. Like all of those things are being cleaned up, man. You understand? This is why when you see our sisters and brothers today, they're the total opposite of those things, man. You understand? Sisters are loud. They half naked. They twerking on for every camera that's rolling. You understand? And it's just terrible. It's terrible, man. You understand? And the only way we're gonna clean it up, is to give them these laws and commandments, so that they can be able to clean themselves, so they can stop doing those things that are unrighteous and unlawful, right? So let's see. All right. Your vessel houses the spirit of the law, man. Verse 5. Not in the lust of concupiscence. That's a word right there. Concupiscence. You understand? Concupiscence. It has to do with lust, right? That's what that word has to do with. And I don't have the little thing ready to pronounce it for me, but that's talking about lust, right? So it says not in the lust of concupiscence, because that is a strong lust. Like it's like lust, but a stronger desire, like lust at a raging lust. You know what I mean? So it says not in the lust of concupiscence, right? Even as the Gentiles which know not God, right? So even as the Gentiles that know not God, right? So the strong is, like I said, so it's talking about a strong sexual desire. Otherwise, you will be just like them, right? You're going to be just like the white man. You're going to be just like the Chinese man. You're going to be just like the Africans, who have these weird, like they want to drink blood, and they're homosexuals, and all of the things that these other nations do that to them is right, and it's okay for them. You know what I mean? It's okay for them. But for you, you're meant to be holy and separate and to be clean. Clean for you is what God said to do and what God said not to do. So you have to be clean and be, get rid of those lusts and that strong desire, to do these things, to go out and have sex with, mad women, and have, orgies and smoke ciphers. So many people are so ready to smoke all the time. They just gotta get rolled up all the time and smoke and get high. And these are the things that these other nations do, man. Those are things that the Arabs do. Those are things that the East Indians do. That Esau does. The white man, the so-called white man. These are the things that the Chinese do. You understand? So that's why it says that, that's why it says even as the Gentiles which know not God, right? So you're gonna be just like the Gentiles or the heathens out here that are not Israelites, that are not blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right. So let's see. Salakia. All right. Verse 6 is where we at. All right. So verse 6 says that no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter. Right. No man go behind and defraud his brother in any matter. So when it's talking about lust, right? Lust is detrimental to brotherhood, right? Lust is detrimental to brotherhood because your lust for, women is going to do what sometimes? Cause you to have sex with your brother's wife. You know what I mean? Brothers are filling up, filling up brothers' wives at work. You know what I mean? Like disrespecting another man's wife when that's his brother. You know what I mean? Sleeping with his actual brother's wife. You know what I mean? Brother, that lust can be the reason why, you kill a man because you want to kill a brother because you trying to what they call catch a lick, hit a lick, meaning to come up on some money, right? Come up on something that's profitable, money. So you'll kill your brother for your lust of money. You know what I mean? And that's why it says it's detrimental to your health. I mean, detrimental to brotherhood, Salaki. Detrimental to brotherhood. Don't defraud your brother, you understand? Because the Lord will destroy you over it. And that's why when we get to those, those scriptures, I think it's in Matthew, if I'm not mistaken, when it says, he that is angry with his brother and have not a cause, he shall be in danger of the judgment, right? You angry with your brother, you're gonna be in danger of the judgment. You know what I mean? It's like it says in danger of he that is angry with his brother without a cause, right? Because these things that we battle one another for are not. It's not nothing. Like we stepped on my shoes, so what? Like who cares about it? Give me 1 second. It's like. You understand? Like that brother J. Cole said, you know what I mean? It's death over designer. Like we killing ourselves over Fendi and Balenciaga and Gucci and all of these other name brands that are designer brands that are all ran by white people who hate black people. And you ready to kill your brother over it. You ready to kill your brother over money that all has slave masters on it. You know what I mean? With Benjamin Franklin and Andrew Jackson and all of these people who have shown that they hate black people and they murder us and all through history had slaves and oppressed black people. And this is who you're going to murder your brother over because your lust for that is detrimental to your brotherhood, man. It's detrimental to brotherhood, man. You understand? You know what I mean? Breaking that 6 month rule in the I.S.U.P.K, man. That's detrimental to your brotherhood because guess what? You're going to end up marrying a sister that wasn't ready to be no wife, right? And then all the while, you're going to be calling every day to trying to get counsel. We got to counsel you, counsel her, because she's a whore, you understand, and you're weak. You understand? And you didn't allow the brothers in the school to clean the sister up and make her into a wife and allow yourself time to shed yourself for the world and become stronger to be able to be that foundation for any sister that you marry, man. You understand? That's detrimental to your brotherhood. Brothers stay up long days, taking calls, giving counsel, giving advice, which is what we supposed to do, which is the oath that we made to do. You understand? But if you're not hearkening to these things because of your lust for this and your lust for that, it's not doing anything but causing more burden on your brothers, man. So just just take heed to that. Take heed to that, man. You understand? Take heed to that. Like the scriptures say, man, even as the Gentiles which know not God, that no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter, because that the Lord is the avenger of all such, right? As we also have forewarned you and testified. Like we said, the Most High is going to visit you, man. All of these things that we're talking about that you're doing that defraud your brother because of your lust for this and your lust for that and your strong desires and this and that, and you defraud your brother and you come against your brother and it become detrimental to your brotherhood. The Most High is going to visit you, like it says. The Lord is the avenger of all such. He's going to avenge those things. He's going to avenge that brother. He's going to avenge that sister. You understand? And don't get it twisted. When we talk about brotherhood, we're talking about sisterhood too. You know what I mean? Sisters out here that's ready to kill another sister because she had slept with the man that she with, and sisters that's ready to kill another sister because all these wild things because somebody said this and she said that and and they be ready to kill one another. This is because you have a strong lust and selfishness and all of these things that are demonic, man, and satanic and it's an unclean thing, man. It's unclean. These are not good causes. These are not causes at all. For you to be that type of way. Like it says, don't answer evil for evil, like we just read in the other scripture, right? So this is where, like I said, that order comes in at, man. You understand? Having that brotherhood that Christ had for us and the order structure that he set up, man, that we continue to have here in I.S.U.P.K is how, our people are going to be able to get cleaned up. You understand? They come here and they see black men that are in order, that are strong, that are intelligent, you understand, that are humble. You understand? Even submissive is submissive as well, right? We have to be obedient to the men that we serve, men, because they guard our soul. They guard our soul. We guard the souls of the men that are under us, the women that are under us. You understand? So this is to be able to keep you from, having those strong lusts and defrauding your brother or your sister, and ultimately having the Lord have to avenge that brother or sister, man. And it's going to be terrible, man, terrifying, man. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. So let's go to Philemon chapter 1, verse 10. Like you. Philemon chapter 1, verse 10. And if you got any questions online, just let me know. You can ask your question online. All you gotta do is unmute or type in the chat box or however, whatever is best for you to do, and I'll try to get to your question. You should be able to get to it. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So Philemon chapter 1, verse 2 says, I beseech thee for my son Onesimus, right? Whom I have who I have begotten in my bonds. All right. So again, beseech you means I beg you, right? To beseech someone is to beg them. All right. So we reading here, it says, this is the importance of this is because, this is somebody that outranks, that outranks a brother, right? Like we have brothers who outrank other brothers, like, just getting the understanding of a man that outranks you, asking you or begging you rather than telling you, because it's a certain level of humbleness that you have to have as a leader, in order to be able to be brotherly, to be brotherly. So it says, so he's saying he begs you, begotten, and he's like, let me get back to the scripture. You understand? For my son, who I have begotten in my bonds, right? Shalakia. All right. So this is him talking about a brother, right? A brother that he's asking them to, it's like, I beseech thee for my son, you understand, Onesimus, whom I have begotten in my bonds. This brother is a brother that, he taught in jail, right? If you go and read the story, like he taught him in jail, right? Not only that, he called him his son. You know what I mean? And he did outrank the brother, right? So he's being brotherly to a brother that, that's under him. You know what I mean? A brother that's under him, a brother that's, that had been to jail, that he taught in jail, of course, who was a criminal, and, so on and so forth, right? So we get to verse 11, right? We're going to break it down. Verse 11, which in time past was to thee unprofitable. All right. So this is the same brother, like it says unprofitable, meaning like he had a bad reputation, right? And this brother had a bad reputation, just like we see brothers today, like I said, like the brother, what's the brother name? K. The brother's a rapper, K. So many brothers that have a bad reputation. Sisters as well that have a bad reputation, right? Getting into things, robbing, killing, stealing, whoring, pimping, everything you can think of, most of all, they not liked. You know what I mean? Like, this brother TK is probably frowned on by so many people. He's a murderer. He's a robber. You know what I mean? That they point the finger all the time. You don't even have to be a criminal for these other nations to point at you like you a dog or a criminal. You understand? But this brother absolutely had a bad reputation, and you know what I'm saying, he was not liked. You know what I mean? But of course, you know what I mean? Of course, through Paul and the apostles, right? He changed his life. He changed his life. And this is what we're trying to say. Like, you have to understand, not only the rank and the order, but just the patience. You know what I mean? Like I said, like we first started off, knowing the men that labor amongst you. You know what I mean? Having honor for the men above you, and having patience for those men that are not in the truth, that are in the world, not answering evil for evil, because our people are destroyed. They're in a low state. You know what I mean? They're in a low state. They have bad reputations. Most of us do. You know what I mean? We have bad reputations. We have criminal records, felonies, and rap sheets, however you want to call it. And it's true and it's real. But these are the same people that Christ taught. You understand? That's why in the Bible, and it talks about Christ. It says it behooved him to be made like unto his brother, right? He had to know what it felt like to starve and to be homeless and to be a criminal and be on the run, because Christ had a warrant out for his arrest. He was on the run, all right? He was a brother that had a warrant out for his arrest, so they put him in jail, all right? And these brothers that we see today, the same thing. I done been in and out of jail a countless amount of times. You know what I mean? Before I came into the truth and was able to be cleaned up to be able to not be that person. And that's what this brother is saying right now. You know what I mean? This man that he's trying to, vouch for, or that he's, speaking up for, had a bad reputation. You know what I mean? He was not liked, but like I said, through Paul, teaching him or giving him the truth, cleaned him up. Right, he cleaned him up, giving him the truth, teaching him who he is, and he get his reputation became better. He became more likable by not only his family and friends, but brothers and sisters alike, man. Like it's even myself. Like, people get mad at me because I want to love just black people. You know what I mean? When they used to get mad at me because I'm trying to get their daughter or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, things that were absolutely wrong. Now, no one can hate me or dislike me for something of my character or my morality, of my righteousness. You understand? So, Salakia, you understand? So ultimately, Paul just wants them to accept him, because these men, who needed to learn this lesson of what we're talking about right now about brotherhood, rejected him. You understand? It was like, this brother was in jail. This brother was, like how we do all the time, man. We push brothers away. He steals, he robs. He known for sleeping with niggas' girls. He known for whatever. He bring trouble around. But Paul, like Commanding General YAHANNA, like the brothers in I.S.U.P.K, bear with these brothers that are in that state, that are in that low state, that are in that lifestyle that's bad reputation and disliked by Allah. And we bring them in, man. We embrace them. You understand? Just like Paul is doing right now, calling him his son. You understand? Talking to the brothers to accept this man. You know what I mean? Accept it. Imagine the brothers in the I.S.U.P.K didn't accept me because I was selling drugs. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to be who I am today. Not a drug dealer anymore. You know what I mean? And that's the important part about it. So, like I said, there's brothers that that are out there that call themselves Israelites and call themselves brotherly and pro-black, that throw black men in jail, call the cops on them for being criminals, man. When we embrace criminals and we make them not criminals anymore, man. You understand? All right. So what we at right now? Shalagi. All right. But now profitable to thee, Shalagi. which in time past was to thee unprofitable, but now profitable to thee and to me. Right? So like we just read just now, like, you understand, he's just a brother that wasn't good in the beginning, but now he is good. Now he can, have a wife and raise a family and have his family pay tithes, and he can hold camps. He can read at camp. He can build signs. He can be trusted around the sisters alone. He can be, trusted around valuable things without, taking anything or taking something from somebody's house. All right. So now we're going to go to verse 12, right? Verse 12 says, whom I have sent again, thou therefore receive him, that is mine own bowels, right? So, of course, like I said, he defended him and asked them to receive him, right? Yeah, I mean, you brothers out there, you sisters out there, you haven't been the perfect brother and sister. You've done wrong. You've committed sin. You've done things unlawful. You've been disliked by people. You've been there, man. You understand? Just know that there are men, you understand, that are sent from the Lord here for you, man. And you're going to have a brother like no other brother in the I.S.U.P.K, man. You're going to have a sister like no other sister here in the I.S.U.P.K, man. And it's going to be the reason why you stop having the reputation that you have, why you stop, being that disliked person, that disliked man or woman, and you're going to become, you understand, the daughter of Zion, the prince of the power that the Lord intended you to be, man. You understand? All right. All right. So like it's saying, so it's talking about, whom I have sent again, because they kicked them out. And they kicked the brother out. They kicked him out and said, nah, listen, man, he can't be around here, man. You understand? Like, this brother, we already know he can't be around here. You understand? So they say he kicked him out. You know what I mean? But, like he said, he sent them back again. You know what I mean? Shalagi. All right? So we're going to go to verse 13, right? So verse 12, like I said, he brought him back, and it says, thou therefore receive him, right? That is mine own bowels. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when he say my own bowels, is like saying, like, I hold them near and dear to me. Like, this brother, I vouch for this brother. You know what I mean? Like, this brother, I hold him dear to me. I vouch for him. You understand? This is my blood right here. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? My own bowels, like he's saying, all right? All right. So verse 13 says, whom I would have retained with me, that in thy stead he might have ministered unto me in the bonds of the gospel, right? So he's saying, I would have him stay with me. In thy place, I would have him serve me, right? Minister, right? Minister means to serve. Like, I would have him serve me. To minister means to serve. You understand? So he's talking about to serve me, right? Salakia. Okay, have ministered unto me in the bonds of the gospel. But without my mind would I do nothing, that thy benefit should not be as it were of necessity, but willingly. You understand? Because this brother, you understand, was like we were saying, like, he's saying that he's going to be with him, right? As serving him. Like we have brothers that come up in the school every day as young men. You know what I mean? They come up as young men. Sisters come in, don't know how to young women as well. You know what I mean? They serve and they become troopers. They become, and we bring them in. You understand? Now we not only did I bring this brother in as Dawah me, having him come to class and, doing this and doing that and, helping him shed this over the world, but now I want to go to the men of the Lord that he can have permission to join us, you understand, to be a part of this body, to be, you understand, a trooper in I.S.U.P.K, for a sister to have a Hebrew name, you understand? She has shown and proven that she is, you know, not the same person that she used to be. And I want to, like you're saying right here, Salakia, whom I would have retained with me, that in thy stead he might have ministered unto me in the bonds of the gospel, right? So, you mean, minister, you mean, serve us in the school, come into the body, right? So, but without thy mind would I do nothing. So without thy mind I do nothing. So he keeping the school, you know what I mean? He's keeping the school in mind, right? Right? He's talking about he wouldn't send this brother if he was unprofitable, right? If he, I mean, he's not. This is for layman's terms, like for those that can understand. This is like like I said, when a brother comes into the school, a sister comes into the school, you know, they come to class. You know, brothers like myself, we are officers. We teach them. You know what I mean? They shed themselves to the world, and then, like we said, we'll go to the men above us. We will have to vouch for this brother and sister. You understand? Because, you know what I mean, we keep, like I say, he's keeping the school in mind. He's thinking about, you know, the reputation of the school. Like, is it, you know, are they going to come in here and make us look bad? Are they going to come in here, you know, a pothead and, you know, smoking and coming to camp smelling like weed? You know, Salaka. So this brother right here shed himself to the world. He's been coming to class, 90 days. He's done his 90 days. You know, he cut out smoking. You know what I mean? He's not, you know, dealing with his white friends anymore. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. So he's keeping the school in mind. Like he said, he wouldn't bring him around. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? He wouldn't have sent this brother if he was still unprofitable. You know what I mean? Like he said, he's he was unprofitable. Now he's profitable. All right. All right. Let's see where we at. All right. But without thy mind would I do nothing, right? So like I say, he's being mindful of the school and what's going on. He's saying after that thy benefit should not be as it were of necessity, but willing. So like he's not saying he doesn't want them to, you know, to feel like they're being forced to accept them, right? You understand? Like he's not, like he said, let me see, let me scroll back. You understand? Like he's saying he doesn't want them to feel like he's forcing them to accept, but you know, he wants them to accept him willingly, right? So willingly accept him. I want you to want this brother around, like, you know, want him around, and that's why in I.S.U.P.K we have that spirit. You know what I mean? Like, you know. Like I said, forgive a brother, 1,000 times, 70 times 7. We already damned how much more we can be. We only can be better than worse. You understand? We already at our worst. So the brothers in I.S.U.P.K showing such an extreme amount of brotherhood that we welcome these brothers in, man. When a brother like myself says, Salakia, sir, this brother right here has done his 90 days, you know. As also 1,000, I think that he's shown and proved, you know what I mean, what it takes to be a trooper in the I.S.U.P.K. And they, for whoever, if my word alone stands or if another brother vouches, he is brought in on the strength of that, and then he's willingly accepted. Like, welcome to the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? Like you're no longer such and such and such and such. You're now a trooper such and such in this Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. You're no longer sister such and such and such. Now you're, your pa, your pa, sister, your pa in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. And this willingly they're brought in, man, and embraced as brothers and sisters. And it's such a powerful thing because it's something that we don't get anywhere else in the world, man. You understand? And these brothers out here I've been through the same thing. This is something that I've been through. And now it's something that I've risen up, men under Commander Jenny YAHANNA, through Commander Jenny YAHANNA under me. You know what I mean? So he's saying that he wants them to willingly accept him, right? All right, so where we at? All right. Okay, so now we have verse 15. For perhaps he therefore departed for a season, that thou shouldest receive him forever. And, of course, what season means. He left for some time, but not forever. But, verse 15, that thou shouldest receive him forever, but he has come back. You understand? He has come back, and he's here to stay forever. You know what I mean? He's here to stay forever. There's many brothers that might, fall off or get weary or go astray. And you know what? They can end up right back in here, man. And we're going to, we got things in order and, processes set up to be able to, for a brother to go through to get back in. But we want to accept that brother back in, man. We want to accept that sister. We want to unify, because this is the only place for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to unify. You understand? To learn the truth and to build the kingdom of heaven. So, we want them to come back. And like I said, we willingly accept them. And, we hope and know, like they saying right now, that this brother comes and stays forever, man. You know what I'm saying? He went for a season, but now he's coming back forever, man. All right? Where we at now? Salakia. Verse 16. What's the time? 9:34. Verse 16, right? Verse 16. Not now as a servant, but above a servant, right? A brother beloved. So he's saying he's not bringing them back as a servant. You understand? This man is not just going to be Jamarcus. Now this man is going to be Mataya Allah. This man is going to be, Yasha Allah or Dawada. It's going to be a brother. You understand? A brother that's, in the truth. A brother in the body of Christ. You understand? He's going to be, one of those 144,000. You understand? So it's saying not now as a servant, but above a servant, a brother beloved, especially to me, but how much more unto thee, both in the flesh and the Lord, right? So now we get verse 16 is asking the question. So it's saying, and like I said, it says as a loved brother, and it's saying, what he's saying is he's not treating you like one. Don't treat him like one. Treat him like a brother you love. You see what I'm saying? Like don't treat him like a servant. Don't treat him like a brother in the world. Don't treat him like that. Like treat him like one of us. Treat him like a brother. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This is like I said. These are things that men are going to change their life for. Things that sisters are going to change their life for, because there's nowhere else where someone is going to do that to them in that condition that they're in, or bear with them in the state that they're in, and build them up and bear with them and hold their hand and be patient with them into just having a whole body of righteous men and women that accept them. It's such a powerful thing, man. And it's going to do nothing but create leaders out of these young men, out of these troopers, man. You understand? Thoroughbreds out of these sisters. And it's a beautiful thing, man. You understand? So, let's see. So, verse 17, right? If thou count me, therefore, a partner, receive him as myself, right? I mean, like, listen, if you count him as a partner, receive him like you receive me. You know what I mean? Honor him like you honor me. You understand? Respect him like you respect me. Yahweh did it. Yahweh honored his Father in heaven. He did the work he did the will of his Father in heaven, but he also, did it for the men under him. He respected those brothers that were under him. You understand? All of his disciples and those apostles, right? All his students, the people that were under him, he respected them. He honored them as well, man. So you have to not only accept this brother, but accept him as you accept the Commander General YAHANNA, man. Accept him as we accept the generals and the captains and the officers. hold that brother esteem, man. You understand? For his work, because it takes sacrifice, it takes love, and that brotherhood, them laws and those commandments, that love that we talking about, in order to fix those brothers and sisters, man. You understand? We have to, respect them like we respect even ourselves, man. The men who hold rank and have that experience. All right, so it says, if thou count me therefore a partner, receive him as myself. Right? If he have wronged thee, or oweth thee aught, put that on mine account. Right? So basically, whatever he's done, charge it to me. You see what I'm saying? Whatever he's done, charge it to me. And what you're seeing right here is a man that is a leader, right? A man that is a leader, that has power, that has rank, that has order, that is showing these men that labor amongst him, that how to treat their brothers that are in the world, how to accept their brothers in the world, how to embrace them, man. You understand? Because we know that they're doing bad. We know that they got a bad reputation. We know what they got going on, man. We know they Christians and they doing Christian stuff, and we know it. We was there too. That's why he said, if you want to accept me, accept him too. Because I was a drug dealer too. I was a murderer too. I was a gangster and a pimp and a whore and everything else too. If you want to accept him, accept me, accept him too, man. You understand? And whatever he did or transgressed or did wrong, charge it to me. You understand? I'm going to take that. You know what I mean? I'm going to take that. That's why we say in the I.S.U.P.K, I vouch for this brother. You understand? We putting our life and our title and our reputation on the line. You see what I'm saying? When we vouch for these brothers to get raised up. So brothers that get raised up, sisters that get raised up, that come out of the world and come into the truth, you have to understand what brothers are doing for you. You understand? You have to know what brothers are doing for you, putting their reputation on the line to say that you deserve that name, and you have to be able to, like it says, highly esteem these brothers, and you do that by, highly esteem them for their work. You do that by, following orders. Simply by following orders, man. You follow orders. You told to do this, count out of one kind. You told to do that, count on one kind. Do it this way, do it that way, count on one kind. This man is somebody that put his reputation that he has been given by the Lord, man. This is the rank that he's been given by the Lord, the reputation that he has put in the truth and put it on the line to say, this brother deserves this name. And I'm putting my name on it. Whatever he's done in the past, charge it to me. This is now who he is right now today. You understand? If otherwise, charge it to me. You know what I mean? Put it on my account, like he's saying right now. Put it on my account. Verse 18, if he have wronged thee or owed thee aught, put that on mine account. Right? So now we're going to go to, you understand? We're going to verse 19. So, just to lead into it, like he's saying, whatever this brother owes, put it on my account, man. You understand? Let it be my debt. You know what I mean? Make it my debt. Verse 19 says, I, Paul, right? So we're talking about Paul. Paul is vouching for the brother. You understand? You know what I mean? The brother that he was, teaching in jail, right? I, Paul, have written it with mine own hand. I will repay it, right? It's like I said, with his own hand, meaning his reputation, meaning he and his reputation is repaying and standing up and vouching and going to take up the debt or the wrongdoings of who this brother used to be and giving you who he is now to accept. You understand? Accept who he is, right? He said, albeit I do not say to thee how thou owest unto me, even thy own self, even thine own self besides, right? So here we are right now, like what Paul is saying. He's saying, I wrote this with my own hand, right? Because like I said, Paul had power, right? Paul had, of course, he had power. You know what I mean? Like I said, we talking about rank and order. We're talking about brothers that have reputation, that have, have done work, that are highly esteemed, right? All right, so, Salakia, even thou, y'all owe me, and I ain't in Salakia. Okay, Salakia, where we at? Okay, Salakia. So we're gonna read it over again. I had to get back to the scripture. All right, verse 19. I, Paul, have written it with my own hand. I will repay it. All right. So, like I said, Paul is a powerful man. In the sense of brothers are high ranking, has reputation, has been put in mad work. You understand? Somebody that can easily, most times, have something that somebody sign for him. Like, yeah, go ahead, sign that for me. Yeah, sign that. You know what I mean? He signed this with his own hand. You understand? He got that pen himself and signed that. You understand? He put that on. He like I said, he himself and his reputation, all his power is going to repay that. And that's why he said, that's why I said, albeit I do not say to thee how thou owest unto me. Now you understand? Like he talking about how he gonna repay this man debt and how he got a plea for them to accept him when y'all owe me. Y'all owe me. You know what I mean? Like y'all owe me. I've been out here, like, give me mine. You feel me? I've been out here in these streets, prophesying under the wind. You see what I'm saying? For 5 years, 25 years, doing the big 7 churches, 7 camps and Midwest, like, you know what I mean? To put it in perspective for you, like Paul has put in a lot of work. You understand? These brothers owe Paul. But like he says, albeit I do not say to thee how thou owest me, how thou owest unto me, even thy own self besides, right? So he's basically telling him, like, he's not talking about what y'all owe me, and I'm not even asking, but I'm just saying I'm going to pay it anyway, because the Lord sent him here to do this work, man. He's going to do this work, and that's exactly what he's doing for this brother. You know what I mean? Onesimus, right? And he's done it for all of those brothers that are his disciples that follow him, right? All right. So this is something that you have to understand, man. How dealing with brothers and sisters that are in the world, dealing with brothers and sisters that may fall out the truth, you know what I mean, or may fall astray or get weak, or become that are feeble-minded, that are weak. You know what I mean? Like all of those things, like I was talking about in the beginning. You understand? Like you have to be able to know these brothers and sisters and know what they're dealing with and know how to deal with them in return. It's a part of being a leader, man, being a brother. All right, so let's see where we're gonna go to now. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 7. First Timothy chapter 3, verse 7. Any Yakim got any questions in the chat section? You can unmute your phone if you got a question. We're going to 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 7. All right, 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 7 says, moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without. He must have a good report of them that is without, right? Meaning he has to have a good reputation in view of people who are not in the truth, right? So he has to, he had like the reputation that we have Like we just had a cookout here in South Carolina, the Black Power Weekend, which was amazing, man. It's amazing, amazing event, amazing cookout, Southeast region barbecue, man. And so many brothers came out, so many sisters. But we do these events for our people that are in the world. You know what I mean? We bring all the heavy hitters out. And we feed the community. We feed our brothers and sisters. Feed the flock. You understand? It's up for us in these times and everything that we do to maintain that good reputation. So when those brothers see us, they see a hard-working brother, a brother that is blameless, a brother that is righteous, that he's following orders, he's in order, he's humble, he's decent, he's intelligent. You understand? He's unemotional, you know what I mean? Like, these sisters, they have kind words, they're sisterly, they're virtuous, they're modest, you know what I mean? You have to keep that good reputation in view of the people who are not in the truth. Or, right? So like, lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil. Or what's going to happen is to fall into a reproach, an offense, fall into reproach, meaning, in the snare of the devil, meaning they're going to fall into more sin or fall into wickedness. Because they have nothing to grab onto to pull them out. You know what I mean? To help them to become righteous. You're supposed to be that bridge between the Most High and the people, the congregation. So if you're not maintaining that reputation in view of the people, they're going to fall into the trap of the devil, man. They're going to fall into death. They're going to fall into jail. They're going to fall into child support. They're going to fall into domestic violence and fall into, everything that we fall into today as a people without that good reputation, without that good leadership, without that order and that structure and that truth that we have here in I.S.U.P.K, man. You understand? You have to maintain that good reputation. So when you on Facebook and you on Twitter and Instagram, you need to be on there making sure that everything that you say and do on that platform, no matter if it's on that platform or in real life, that it's up to the reputation of the Most High in Christ and the men in the I.S.U.P.K, man. It's up to that standard, because you can shame yourself, shame the school, and cause a brother to fall out because they're not getting that full, unadulterated truth and spirit that exists in the I.S.U.P.K, that exists in the Bible, man. You understand? Make sure it's of the spirit. It's something that's very important. You want to make sure that everything you saying, everything you posting, everything that you're doing is of the Lord, man. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see. We'll get a couple more. It's 9:50 right now. We'll see. We'll get a couple more scriptures real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Ecclesiasticus. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus Chapter 9, verse 16 in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus Chapter 9, verse 16 in the Apocrypha, right? It's like Ecclesiastes. Oh yeah, hold on, let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Salakia. No, so we hold on. Let me slack it. We going to slack. Let me get it right quick. Okay, yeah, Ecclesiasticus chapter 9, verse 16, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 9, verse 16 says, "And let just men eat and drink with thee." What is just men? You know what I mean? We could get a little quick couple question and answers right quick. You know what I mean? These last couple of minutes. What is just men? and let just men eat and drink with thee. Anybody who wants to answer?
Salaki are the ones, Brother Malik.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it referring to, as when it's saying just men, is it saying just mankind?
Just, like to be just. Just men. The type of men who are just. You got the scripture pulled up?
La sir.
Okay, what we swore that?
It's right in front of me.
All right. So Ecclesiasticus Chapter 9 verse 16 says, and let just men eat and drink with thee. Okay. So for the sake of time, you want to go ahead and answer?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, go ahead, Up.
Yes, just men, that are keeping commandments, and you're just.
That's correct, Doc. Just men that are keeping the laws and commandments. You understand? Men who follow the law and follow the commandments of the Lord. That's what just men. So these are the men you eat and drink that eat and drink with thee, and let thy glorying be in the fear of the Lord, right? Because here in the I.S.U.P.K. we fear the Lord. And the fear of the Lord is the beginning of that wisdom, beginning of that love and that understanding of having those laws and those commandments. You know what I mean? That's the fear of the Lord, right? So we here in the I.S.U.P.K. fear the Lord, and we here together eat and drink together, man. You understand? As brothers and sisters, the children included, man. We have feast days, we have kickback days when we just get together as a camp, get together, and we just chill out and we eat and drink, man. We commune together, we fellowship together, man. You know what I mean? That's a part of brotherhood. That's a part of having that body, you understand? Just like Christ turned that water into wine, right? Christ turned that water into wine so we can for the brothers to be able to be happy and have some YAHANNA. You understand? Have some YAHANNA and be able to drink on it and be able to commune together and talk to each other and have a good time, laugh, joke, play, be free, be happy. You understand? And that's what we do in our I.S.U.P.K, man. We stay together like family, man. That's what we have these cookouts for, man. These cookouts. You understand? Black Power Weekend just passed by in the Southeast region. Now we got the Midwest Fire Weekend coming up in 2 days. You know what I mean? And we're going to eat and drink together with just men. That's what's going to happen. You understand? And that's what it's for. So drop down. Let me get Ecclesiasticus Chapter 6 verse 7. We might have to end it out. We still got 5 minutes. It's Ecclesiasticus Chapter 6 verse 7. Ecclesiasticus Chapter 6 verse 7. All right? If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. And this is the thing that a lot of brothers, fall subject to because, brother, just because a brother, got a cool, he cool and he talk good and he sound righteous and, he say he love you, you have to prove a friend, man. That's what it says right there. Prove him first. Give him a few orders. See how he do with taking orders. Can he take a couple orders? Is he able to fulfill those orders? See how he operates over time. See what kind of situations he gets himself into, or how he gets himself out of situations. Does he follow counsel? Like all of these things is how you prove a friend. You don't just that's why I said that there's things that are set up for us to be able to learn these men, to be able to learn the men that are coming in and the men that left, to be able to see where they're at when they come back, to be able to decide whether or not, this brother right here is a friend. This brother right here is profitable, right? This brother or sister is profitable. Prove him first, right? And be not hasty to credit him, man. You understand? I.S.U.P.K, you understand? It takes a lot of work, diligence, and patience, man, to be able to obtain rank and obtain that leadership and that reputation, man. You understand? So don't come in here looking for rank. Don't come in here looking for it. You better just work, follow those orders, and do that work and follow those orders, man. And guess what? When the Most High sees fit for you to be raised up, you'll be raised up. You understand? But it's not going to happen that like you know, overnight. You understand? It's not going to happen overnight. You understand? That's what it says. And be not hasty to credit him. All right? Be not hasty to credit him. Like, proving offender is very important, man. You know, brothers and sisters come into the school and they got that righteousness and that zeal when they come out the gate. You know, but that's why we have these time periods for, you know, troopership program, you know what I mean, for becoming a trooper, you know, the time for becoming an officer and taking your officer's test and passing your officer's test with 100%. These are things that are in other words, proving a friend, you know what I mean, for so to speak, proving a friend to see if this man is ready, if this man is ready to be a trooper. You know what I mean? To see if this woman is ready to get her name. You see if this woman is ready to be a wife. See if he's ready to be a husband before I give him to, you know, give a daughter to her. I mean to him. You know what I mean? Like Commander YAHANNA, giving a daughter to the brothers in the school. You know what I mean? Before a man, you know, can become an officer or become a captain of 10,000, a captain of 13,000. You have to prove him first, you understand? So that's all that's saying right there, man. But listen, you understand, that all comes with rank, order, discipline, and most importantly, those laws and these commandments, man. You understand? Brotherhood is a weapon, and it's only going to be a weapon if we have those laws and those commandments, and if we have the truth in I.S.U.P.K, and we come together and band together as one in order to be able to do what the Most High wants us to do and what it has in store for us, which is the kingdom of heaven, man. And the kingdom of heaven is black supremacy. All right? With that, we at I.S.U.P.K. We start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York City, under Commander YAHANNA. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite groups. It was established in 1969. We teach the truth according to the Bible that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are God's chosen people. With that, shalom.